In a quiet village named Ekwu, nestled among lush hills in Nigeria, life was simple and peaceful. The villagers were friendly, sharing stories in the evenings after a long day of farming and fetching water. Everyone knew each other, and news spread quickly. But recently, an unsettling fear settled over Ekwu. Young women began to vanish, only to be found dead days later, their bodies marked with strange bite marks on their necks. The villagers whispered about these mysterious deaths, which felt like the work of a hidden predator. Chief Ikenna sent hunters into the nearby forest to seek out the creature responsible, but they returned empty-handed. As fear gripped the village, mothers warned their daughters to stay indoors, even during the day. Ekwu, once filled with laughter, grew quiet and tense. Amidst this fear, there was one man who seemed unfazed. His name was Kelechi, tall and handsome, with a smile that could melt hearts. He was a skilled builder. His charm dazzled the women, making them forget the danger lurking in the shadows. With his smooth skin and sparkling eyes, Kelechi walked through Ekwu like he owned it. Women giggled and blushed whenever he passed, drawn to him like moths to a flame. But Kelechi harbored a dark secret. He didn't care about the deaths or the fear that enveloped Ekwu. He reveled in his charm, using it to lure women away from the watchful eyes of the village. Under the cover of night, he would take them to his hut on the outskirts of the village. There, he would enchant them with his words and warmth. But just before the night turned dark, he would ask a chilling question. "Do you know the difference between a man's manhood and a snake?" The women would laugh, thinking it was a joke. But before they could respond, Kelechi would whistle a soft, eerie tune that filled the air with dread. In that moment, a snake would slither from his trousers, its cold body wrapping around them before delivering a deadly bite. The bite left 2 sharp marks, and within moments, the women would be lifeless, their bodies found the next day with the same mysterious markings. As the village mourned, no one ever suspected Kelechi. He was too charming, too perfect. Each death deepened the villagers' fear, but Kelechi continued his life as if nothing were wrong. The women remained oblivious to the danger that lurked beneath his good looks. With a confident air, Adaise caught Kelechi's eye the moment he saw her. At the village well, while other women giggled and blushed, she remained composed, seemingly unaffected by his charm. Kelechi was intrigued. He had never encountered a woman who didn't fall for his allure. Determined to win her over, Kelechi began to follow Adaise, seeking every opportunity to talk to her. But she kept her distance, never allowing him to get too close. The more she resisted, the more obsessed he became. One afternoon, Kelechi saw his chance when Adaise was at the well, carrying her water pot. He approached her with his signature smile, offering to help. She accepted, but remained polite yet distant. He felt a thrill of victory lifting the pot onto his head. But Adaise's cool demeanor only fueled his desire to conquer her heart. Days turned into weeks, and Kelechi was consumed by thoughts of Adaise. She was different from the others, and her refusal to give in only made him want her more. He decided to change his approach, playing it cool to intrigue her instead. Soon enough, Adaise began to notice his absence, and curiosity sparked within her. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Kelechi invited Adaise to his hut. She hesitated but eventually agreed. Inside, the flickering light from an oil lamp cast shadows on the walls. As they shared palm wine, Kelechi leaned closer, whispering sweet words, while secretly plotting to use his deadly charm. Adaise felt a sense of unease but remained calm. Then Kelechi asked his infamous question again. Just as she opened her mouth to respond, he whistled that haunting tune that summoned his serpent. But this time, Adaise was ready. With a swift motion, she produced a small silver flute from her wrapper and blew into it. The sound pierced the air, startling the snake. Kelechi watched in shock as the creature hesitated, turning its attention from Adaise to him. Panicking, he stumbled back as the snake coiled around him instead. its grip tightening dangerously. "How did you?" Kelechi gasped, realization dawning on him. Adais stood firm, her expression steady. "You're not the only one who knows how to control a snake," she replied. "Now it's time you face the consequences of your actions." Before he could protest, the snake struck, its venom coursing through Kelechi's veins. He collapsed, gasping as the life drained from him. Adais stood over him, a mix of determination and grief in her eyes. Kelechi's reign of terror had come to an end. The next morning, the villagers gathered in shock at the sight of Kelechi's lifeless body in the village square, the snake by his side, defeated. Adaizi spoke to the crowd, revealing the truth about the man they had once admired. Kelechi had used his charm to mask his dark deeds, but now the villagers were free from the fear he had instilled in them. As time passed, the tale of Kelechi and Adaizi became a legend in Ekwu. Mothers warned their daughters about the dangers of seductive charm, reminding them that not all that glitters is gold. Adaizi's bravery was celebrated, her name remembered with honor, while Kelechi's memory faded into obscurity. Life in Ekwu returned to normal, but the lessons learned from the past remained etched in the hearts of its people. Adaizi had not only avenged her friend but had saved countless others from the fate that had befallen so many before her. Ekwu thrived once more, a place of laughter and life, free from shadows of the past.